welcome to ENSEK's Digital Insights webinar. Before we kick off, if you do have any questions throughout the webinar, just drop them in the box and we've got a Q&A at the end, so we'll go through them then. So just to kick things off, the question that we're looking at asking today is, how do I harness the data I already have to surface the value of my business decisions? So we're looking to improve our business decisions. So just to quickly go through the agenda, we're going to look at the industry challenges that we all have with data. We'll kick off and introduce digital insights to you. Craig is going to go through a first look of digital insights, so we'll run through a bit of a demo of the platform, finish with a bit of a summary, and then kick off our Q&A. So welcome and thank you for joining. So just to introduce us, Craig Jones is our product manager for Digital Insights. Craig has a really strong background in software, and his focus mainly sits with enhancing, adapting and improving our analytical platform. So his main objective is to make sure our customers can draw the value that they need from their data. And hello, I'm Emma Lovell. I'm your host for today. I'm the Senior Marketing Manager here at ENSEK. I work with multiple teams across the business, and I make sure that our customers in the industry have the products that they need to make sure they reduce their cost to serve and increase customer satisfaction. So, kicking off with a few challenges that we often find in not just the energy industry, but all industries, is you have this massive data that you need to do something with, and often you need resources to manage that data. So we're looking at investing in time, money, and the expertise required to build out an analytical platform that manages this massive data that you have. We're also looking at, what do you do with that data? So, you know, you've got this extra headcount, you've got the knowledge required, you've invested in that expertise, but how do you use that data to make those informed business decisions, to help build your processes and to help drive your company forwards? And obviously off-system processing is another challenge that we always face. So what we're looking at doing is, how do we empower our teams to ask those queries using a single source of truth? And I think that single source of truth is the main thing that we're looking at here. If people are drawing data out all the time and we've got loads of different spreadsheets, you know, what different answers are different teams across the business then making? So I'm going to hand over to Craig and he's going to start answering some of those questions.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Emma, and thank you very much to everybody on the webinar today for taking the time out to look at digital insights. It's an honour to be part of the launch of an addition to the Ignition platform. I just want to start by just discussing some of the challenges we have to consider when we're looking at analytical solutions. So clearly we want to get to the value, we want to get to the actionable insight and the answers to our queries as soon as possible. We want those answers in real time. We don't want the additional latency of taking data off systems, starting to manipulate and process that, add our own definitions, and then have to present that back to users. We want to be able to get to that insight really quickly. We want to remove that data complexity. Obviously, what comes with that wealth and data contained within Ignition is often it's sometimes understanding the relationships between the various data items and pulling those and understanding the relationships between the various data tables and pulling out that insight once again. And echoing Emma's point about having that single source of truth, really something that you'll hear me reference quite often. Having Ignition data, in particular within and embedded in the Ignition platform, can help solidify the data and the queries and the answers that you're presenting within the Ignition platform truly represents that source of truth. Whilst the system gives you the ability to extract and download data, we want to try and, in most cases, remove the need or the reliance on being able to do that. A lot of the time and the effort in developing the solution is designed to give your users confidence in the data that we're representing, confidence in the the queries and the answers to the questions that are most often asked of their data embedded within the Ignition platform. We have to, of course, be mindful of the varying skill sets and experience within industry that multiple stakeholders have within a business, and being able to support the users to understand and define various data points in a meaningful manner and one that makes sense. We want to draw out that actionable insight. It's not presenting data for the sake of data. Whilst we have those headline metrics, we also want to be able to delve down into that data. And once there and understanding that data, be able to apply actions to it as well. And this notion of consolidating applications, not having users having to switch between various applications, different systems, solidifying that single source of truth, embedding true analytics within the Ignition platform. But at the same time, it has to be adaptable. It has to be able to meet the changing needs of your business, whether that's strategic or priorities change. Quite often, the needs of users will also change. So having a system that is truly adaptable is clearly a really important point. So that brings me on to digital insights, which essentially is that wealth of data that's contained within Ignition. We take that data, we analyze the data, we orchestrate it, and we start to unlock the value that is inherent within the data set. And then we present that data in a nice human readable format that anyone can interpret. And we also support that with embedded data dictionaries so that we can help people learn and understand. And this is growing and enhancing and adapting all the time to meet the needs of yourself, you and your users. So whilst I'm not going to go into too much of the detail around the technical architecture itself, what I would like to do is draw your attention to the analogy you can see on the screen now. So essentially what our architecture is actually doing is it's processing containers of data, or boxes as you see in the analogy on the screen, and we're getting millions of these boxes coming into our warehouse every single day, and then our systems automatically opening those boxes, processing the contents, and putting those in a format and an easy to understand structure, as in the data tables themselves. That's once we've understood the contents and we've added those to the shelves within the supermarket, we then start to extract the real value. We are able to answer point in time questions. So whilst Ignition might surface the current state of the registration, for example, what we are able to do is show you the history and the states of those registrations up until the point that we're showing within the Ignition platform. And then we start to put the products onto the shelves, but within a supermarket, in this particular analogy, in a way that's really simple to understand. We create that, we feature engineer the data, we're applying that business logic, we're applying the industry logic and the system logic that you need when you're processing that data to present it in data tables that make sense. We're starting to apply key measures and counts and KPIs and controls that are all pre-calculated and all accessible directly within the Digital Insights platform. So the platform itself is two elements to it. We've got embedded insights. So this is a suite of dashboards, and each of the various different dashboards they're persona and stakeholder driven. For example, we have a business growth dashboard that's focused on the sales needs of a business, understanding my current portfolio, and understanding the different data points that would either positively impact on the size of my portfolio, or they may equally negatively impact on that size of that portfolio. But we have a suite of dashboards that is growing all the time and will continue to grow over the weeks and months. And then the second element is the data gateway. So that's the access. It's open access. It's via RESTful API. It's industry standard. It's open data protocol. So you can use your own visualization tools to be able to access that data. And it's easily consumable. And like I say, it's compatible with the majority of visualization tools. So if we just explore a little bit more Digital Insights itself, so and the dashboards, the suite of dashboards. I've referenced business growth already, which contains live meters, and we segment the data We look at the registration process, what accounts and meter points are coming on supply, and which accounts potentially leaving supply. We're looking at the processes within our business, the meter registrations, the billing performance, how efficient are our tasks, and we present those within process efficiency. Customer insight, once again, it's applying different lenses to our data. So we're segmenting the data, we're looking at losses and gains, we're looking at how successful the varying products and tariffs are, how efficient are we at processing our complaints. And that feeds nicely into our regulatory reporting. So some of the industry bodies and governing bodies around the energy sector require reporting. So we focus the various segments of this dashboard relating to those reports and those requirements that industry have upon the energy sector. And then industry performance is a dashboard that will be coming very soon, and this suite will continue to grow over time, adding more and more value. So each and every one of the visualizations contained in the dashboards are also contained within a catalog, so you need access those from a catalog perspective. So whilst I appreciate that there's so much value in that suite of dashboards, there's also a requirement to access the data, how you want to access it, and when you want to access it. And maybe that you have your own data scientists and your own data warehouse, and that's where the digital gateway provides that opportunity to access that data. So if we consider what data I'm referring to, our mission is that we would provide access to all of the data items that are available and visible and you're able to access within the Ignition platform, but also contain that within Digital Insights. So that those data items might include accounts with the contracts and transactions and exceptions. It might be that we have the billing data, and quite simply, there's already over 1,000 data points accessible there, data fields contained within these curated data tables with all the measures and the counts, just really extracting that value and really reducing the time it would take to apply all of the industry knowledge and the system knowledge that you need to when you're creating that data yourselves. Right, so I'm just going to switch screens now so that I can give you a demonstration of the platform itself. So bear with me a moment.
So whilst Craig's doing that, just to let you know, we are recording this webinar and we will be sending it out afterwards if you do want to send it on. Also, for the purpose of this session today, we have pre-created an offline demo. So Digital Insights is currently live in the background. So if you are a customer on here, we could take you through your own personal demo, toggle on your data, or toggle on Digital Insights for you, sorry, and show you your data as it stands today. But this is an offline demo so that we don't share any recognizable data during the session.
Thank you very much, Emma. Yeah, so I trust that you can see the demo on the screen. Thanks, Emma. So I'm showing you here the Ignition platform. So for existing customers, this will be recognizable to you. I would log into my Ignition platform. I then scroll down to the Digital Insights workspace on the left-hand side. And here you'll see reference to the suite of dashboards: business growth, customer insights, process efficiency. And you'll also note that there is a custom insight option as well, but I'll come on to that in a little bit more detail. So if we think about what does embedded analytics look like when it comes to Ignition, well, each of the dashboards has the same core structure to it. We have the baseline metrics and KPIs at the top, and then we also have the embedded dictionary contained within Ignition as well. So we have help options or hover help all over the platform and the embedded insight, so that you can help your users understand what definitions are applied to the various data points. Looking at customer insight, and being able to scroll down on the screen, we can see here that we've got registrations by category and losses by category. And each of these various legends that you see embedded, you have the ability to filter those out. So on the losses by category, we've got losses pending, objections, and exceptions. But if I select the loss pending options, we remove that from the legend. And then we can also then drill down into that data. Really key, important point, being able to drill into that data and understand the information and the value that's contained within those key metrics and visualizations. Again, we've still got, and we still maintain the data dictionary contained within here, so we can select the various column titles and it would reference what the data item is. And we can also, and another point, really key and important point about having visualizations and analytics embedded, I can actually open that Ignition account within Ignition with one simple click. So a truly consolidated approach to analytics and actionable insight. I did reference that you can download those results. I think this isn't an option that we can configure on or off. Now, clearly, if you are trying to maintain a single source of truth, we as ENSEK would encourage your users to refrain from downloading that data, but it's not to say that it's not an option available to you. So we can download that data in various different forms. Maybe that you want to present that data along other data items from alternative sources. Right, so back onto business growth. We've got our baseline metrics at the top here. So we've got our current supplied meter points. We've got a meter point growth percentage. We also represent monthly differences as well. So we see here that we've got meter point growth for the current period of 9.22%, which is an increase of 3.28% on the previous month. We can scroll down and we start to explore those particular data items in a bit more detail. So this is meter points on supply by month and by fuel type. So we can see here a nice healthy growth in meter points on supply, and the top line being our gas meters and the bottom being electric. Scrolling down a little bit more. So again, considering our business growth dashboard, we start to consider the items that impact greatest on supplied meter points, and where are we gaining customers from, which suppliers are our customers coming to us from, and where are they going to. So we have a gains and losses view by supplier. We can also understand which sales channel the quotes are being generated from. Let's have a look at customer insights. So customer insights, we're looking to segment the various data items to a bit more detail. So this would apply to many different stakeholders. It may be the account management team, it could be the sales team, or somebody within support. We can scroll down. So again, reiterating this point about actionable insights. So we've got our headline portfolio number of how many accounts are on supply. We also have here what number of accounts are coming on supply and which ones are leaving. We've got percentages by fuel type. We can scroll down a bit more. We've also got geographical segmentation. So we've got a map here of the UK, and each of these various different postcode districts, you can drill into those and you can explore the number of meter points on supply for each district, and we can drill down to that data as well using the drill down feature. Let's have a look at the process efficiency. So we consider the processes that Ignition is predominantly used for, so the registration process. We can see the total number of registrations completed for the current period and the monthly difference from the period before. So we've got an increase of 13,986. So really healthy growth there. We can understand the percentage of those registrations completed within 21 days. Scrolling down a little bit more, we can break that down by the percentage, the registrations which have completed. So for the month of May, we had 22,017 completed registrations, of which 98.04% of those were completed within the 21-day benchmark. Sorry, I forgot the word then. Okay. This is the billing view. Again, we're still within process efficiency, so we can see the percentage of bill created. We're looking at a view on accuracy, so what percentage of the bills created are based on actual readings or estimations. And as I'm sure you can see, we're starting to really drill down to those various different data points in a bit more detail. Regulatory reporting, so we've still got our best baseline numbers. These particular baselines are based on the complaints process and the billing accuracy. So we're talking about our industry reporting here, and these will be based on those quarterly reporting measures. We've got the complaint ratios by 10,000 customers. We've got those complaint ratios resolved same day. So it's a combination and a suite of dashboards that relate to various different stakeholders. But these individual visualizations are contained within a catalog, and then you can start to explore how you might want to add those into customer insights, which is your own bespoke dashboards and information. So if we just explore that a little bit more, so this is the catalog, this is the visualization tool that we use to provide access to those visualizations contained within the dashboards. I'm just going to explain and demonstrate how quickly and easily it is to adapt those and update those for your own priorities or requirements. So we're looking at meter points, gains and losses, and we're able to apply a filter with just a couple of clicks. We can change the analysis month or the analysis period, so we can have a look at the last 3 complete months. We can see that information very quickly, adapted and updated, and now we can start to save those as custom visualizations. We can start to build these up and contain these within our own custom dashboard, and then that can be fed directly back into Ignition, and all of the same principles apply. The data dictionary is still contained within there, but it gives you the ability to customize that for your own uses. Okay, so that's based on the existing visualizations, but I've already touched on the curated wealth of data that's contained within the various data tables, and all of the feature engineering that we've applied, the measures, the counts, all of the business insight, the system insight that we're applying to that data. We can explore that within the Explore window. So we've got all of the various data items from across the Ignition platform, whether it's bills and payments. We're going to have a quick look at tasks. So we can select the task list items. We can then have a look and apply some filters to that. So what I'd like to just have a look at is the cost disputes in progress. So very quickly, with a number of clicks, we can have a look at cost disputes over the last 12 months. I can then explore and have a look at the various different visualization options I have. So for this particular example, I'm just looking at a standard bar chart. And then once I've created my visualization with just a small number of clicks, and we can apply those measures here on the left-hand side, we would then have the option to save those as a look and save those as a dashboard and bring those back into Ignition under the custom insight workspace within Ignition. Right, so I'm just going to switch back to the presentation. So bear with me just one moment.
Thanks for running through that.
Okay, so Emma, just check that you're able to see that on the screen now. Perfect. Thanks very much. Okay, so let's come back to those challenges that I outlined before the demonstration. So we need to ensure that the system is able to answer those queries and return those results in real time. So users have the ability to refresh that data and run the queries that we contain within those dashboards in real time. Very quickly refresh that and have a look at the current state of play at this particular minute. We're able to explore and start to understand how we're going to remove the complexity of that data. So not only are we rolling data up, we're aggregating that data, we're feature engineering that data to really extract the value. We're applying those measures and those counts. We're looking at those controls and those KPIs, and they're all pre-calculated within the gateway itself or within the suite of dashboards, and that is all supported by that data dictionary. So when we think about that single source of truth, clearly that users need to be able to trust that data, and what best place to trust Ignition data, but that's within the analytics that's consolidated within the Ignition platform. But we also need to maintain, and we appreciate that you do want that ability to export data when it's appropriate. So you do have that option to export that in the various different formats that users may wish to use to manipulate data for their own purposes. And it's important, obviously, to meet the needs of the various stakeholders. So that stakeholder suite of dashboards, they're predefined, they're based on months and years of experience, understanding the questions that users from across the business have been asking ENSEK about their data. That's all captured within that catalogue of visualizations. And at the heart of those is ensuring that they do truly remain actionable. It's not data for the sake of data. It's data that really is valuable and users can use on a day-to-day basis to undertake the tasks that they do. And having that option to switch back and be able to go to the account or even the task within the registration process, a simple click takes you to that task within Ignition. Really powerful and usable option. And then we think about being able to adapt and meet the changing needs of your business. So having those customizable dashboards, having the opportunity to embed your own curated dashboards if you wish, back within Ignition, again, really powerful and answers and meets the needs of your business. Having the opportunity to use that suite of dashboards to help understand your own analysts, to understand the questions that your users may be asking about their data. They truly represent a fantastic starting point, and we're really confident they answer many of the questions that inevitably your users will ask, but coupled with the opportunity to customize those to meet those specific needs is hugely powerful. So when we think about an investment in digital insight, what does that mean to you as your business? Well, the Ignition platform itself is already leveraging digital insights. So there are components within digital insights that you'll see referencing powered by digital insights, and they'll be supporting the finance functions, account management, and the credit collections functionality, and the various modules and products within the Ignition platform will continue to leverage digital insights. But an investment means that you get the ability to embed visualizations back into the platform. It gives you access to the suite of those dashboards, the ability to generate and customize your own reports, and having access to the data gateway, giving you access to that all of the inherent data that you have within the platform. But most importantly, it's not data in its rawest form. It's data that has been curated, it has been feature engineered, it's been aggregated, it's got those measures and those counts applied to it. So it's taking away a lot of the effort that you would need to apply to data in its rawest form. Okay, well, I'm conscious I've rattled through that. There's no doubt there's some questions, and Emma's kindly been having a look at those for us.
Yeah, so thanks for running through that. It's really useful. We have had a couple of questions that have come through, so I'll just go through those quickly. So the first one, how quickly can I get this into production?
Well, Digital Insights has been running for several months now, so it's been running in the background. Our warehouse has been processing all of those boxes of data. It's been applying the principles of the supermarket, the analogy of adding those into those data tables, and we've been doing that for some time now. So it is simply a switch of a click of a switch, and with just a small number of configuration elements, understanding which users you want to maybe see all of the dashboards or just one or two of those dashboards. purely a configuration element. It would take just a matter of days to get that up and running for your users.
Yeah, so more like the preferences, really.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think you've already covered this one, but it might be good just to refresh. So, can I self-serve and customize the tool?
Yeah, so as I've described, the customer insight workspace within the Ignition platform is yours. It's your space in which you can, if you wish to, you can create folders within that area with different dashboards in it. You may wish to take the catalog approach where users simply access a range of visualizations. What we're confident is the majority of those will probably be based on the existing catalog that we've created for you, but there may be some slight alterations depending on what your business priorities might be, and having that powerful tool, being able to embed that back into Ignition as well.
And I think that's a really strong point to just make as well, that the graphs that you showed us in the visualizations, you can literally click into them and it will show you a task list if that's what it goes through to, which will then open up an Ignition. So then you'll be looking at the task or the contacts to drill down what actionable insight you need to then follow up on.
Yeah, exactly.
And the final one for today, can I use my own BI tool?
Yeah, so if we consider the data gateway element of digital insights, it was a really important element of the design phase, the discovery phase, is ensuring that it can and is truly adaptable and can meet your changing needs. So using that RESTful API approach for that data query, ensuring it was an industry standard open data protocol, does truly mean that whichever tool or approach you use to querying data or accessing data, it can support that through the data gateway.
Perfect. Well, I think that's everything for today. So thanks very much for taking us through that. If anyone is looking for more of a drilled down demo, or for one of our customers, if you're looking for a personal demo that shows your own data, please do get in touch. So if you get in touch at marketing@ensek.co.uk, we can set that up for you. But thank you very much for joining today. And if we have missed any other questions, then we will get in touch with you after the session. So thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Cheers, Craig. Bye.